Hey guys, welcome to DCP Talks. You know, I'm always going to put my podcasts out there on my website so you can see when all the events are and you can see when everything's coming, and that is at www.authorstephencandace.com. You know, I've written so many books out there. Of course, I've written over 40 books, and I got 24 on Audible, and I have 2 being done right now as we speak. Like everybody else out there, I'm trying to get my books out there to sell. Man, I hit TikTok, I hit Facebook, I hit Instagram, I hit Threads. I get a holla for all of us trying to find. Holla! There we go. I would like to thank Elk Artwork this week for their sponsorship on our episode. Thank you. Now, this week we are going to cover 3 books in episode 12 of Zorn's Chronicles. So the Chronicles of Zorn has 10 books. So this week we will cover the series Across the High Seas. That is book 5, 6, and 7. We're going to break down each of those books and talk about them, what they're about, so you can get a better feel for it. If you're a fantasy lover, you're going to love this shit. This is all over. This is like a fantasy dream come true. The one thing I've always loved is battle scenes. Now, I write a lot of battle scenes, especially in fantasy. Fantasy, you have so many characters. The cool part is, out of all 10 books, there are over 300 characters that I have made up and illustrated. I've been an artist by trade. I might as well go ahead and enjoy the factors of making my own characters, showing you what they look like. I have 3 coloring books out there of Zorn's. Fantasy coloring books. Check out on www.authorstephencandace.com, my website. You'll find all kinds of stuff there. Now let's get to book number 5. Book number 5, The Battle for Krull. Man, in this book, it is really cool because Zorn meets some really cool people from Krull. So therefore, he has Caleb, which is his companion, and then they travel, and then they get to Krull. And in the city of Krull, they're going to meet the people there are cursed, have been for hundreds of years, and they're a cyclops. They only got one eye. So therefore, there has been an emperor that has landed on this planet, and the emperor is trying to take over the complete planet. There's only a few places left, and Krull is one of them. The emperor is leaving nothing but mass destruction and ruin. He has taken everything with his slayers for himself. He wants it all. He's even bringing warriors from other universes to help him take over this. Now, the prince of Krull, who was supposed to be king, he is going to gather up some of his friends and try to kill the emperor with Zorn's help. He has to take the land over. Whether it succeeds or not at the end, but he has to try. And the emperor wants him dead. Now, that will lead us into book number 6, The Search for the Sunken Village of Covoy. After this quest, Zorn meets back with Queen Da Silva of Bree. That's his homeland. And he would like to settle down. The queen comes out and asks Zorn to go with a couple companions to try to retrieve a treasure. And the treasure is in the island of Spania. Now, for some reason or another, through time, why does it always seem that the whispers of treasures or whispers of secrets seem to flow through the land? Why does it always seem that there's always a secret, or there's always something that hasn't been told? It's just kind of really ironic. Well, the treasures are down in the sunken village of Covoy. Now, the king of Spania with his 2 brothers from the north and south want it for themselves. Now, the Viking queen, Ravana, has found out her great-grandfather's hammer is in that treasure. So she wants the hammer returned back to her people. So she sets out with the Vikings of Nor to conquer and take the treasure. Now, Zorn has been sent by Queen Da Silva to go for himself to fetch this. So now what do you think is going to happen? You have three major competitors who want a treasure, and of course the land sometimes that goes with it. Vikings are raiders, Vikings are ravagers, and they take what is not theirs, and they do not give a good God blessing hound of how they do it. And in this book you will read some horrific things that have done to a monasteries. It is just the Viking way. Now, when we talk about that, then we're talking about book 6. Now, if the treasures come true, it's going to lead to book 7. Because is the treasure there? Is it not there? Maybe that's why they have to go to book number 7. The Search for the Lost Book of Spells. Now, the Search for the Lost Book of Spells is one amazing book. Zorn figures out that he has to go to the island of Kia. Now, the island of Kia is a very special place. Deep in the volcano, in that island, is the Book of Spells. But it is guarded by the Black Shadow Dragon. That's right, the Black Shadow Dragon. Now, the island of Kia is very special because when I wrote about the island of Kia, it was for another book that I wanted to write about the Island of Dragons. I never completed the book, but now I'm going to use it for another way. Like I said, the green dragon, it makes sense. The Island of Kia has over 10 dragons. Each one is magnificently powerful. You have a water dragon, you have a thorn dragon, you have a sky dragon, you have a lava dragon, you have a crystal dragon. It just a cave. It just goes on and on to where, you have a shadow. Like, it is just really cool. You have a transparent dragon. Things that happen on this island are really cool. See, books 5, 6, and 7 truly, I think, are my fave because there are so many battle scenes. So much is going on. The story is endless. It just never seems to stop. And you want to keep reading it. And that's what it is about fantasy books. If you like to keep reading something, you're going to fucking read it. And that's all there is to it. Now, book 7, see, now you're talking about many creatures. You're talking about gnomes who control some of the dragons. So Zorn has got a challenge set out for him. Now, there will be a lot of cool characters which you will see in these books, right? Like you're going to meet Fury. You're going to meet the king of the Vikings, okay? Or the queen, I'm sorry. Queen Ravan. You're going to talk about Queen DeSova. There's a lot of cool characters which you will like Fury, Caleb, Zorn's little companions. Fury is a bad little thing. It's one of those things where the characters tie you into the books, right? They draw you in. And when you like a character, you remember that character. You will remember Fury. That's all there is to it. You will remember Queen DeSova. You will remember Goth. You will remember Caleb. You will remember Zahim. You will remember Ada. You will remember Sokobi. There are so many characters are cool in this book. It is just really cool. So therefore, you're going to find out a lot of these books, a lot of the characters intertwine and come through next book, through 3 books. Now, it comes down to 5, 6, and 7. Why did I write 5, 6, and 7? Be truthfully honest with you, I have no clue. I really was only planning on writing books 1 and 2 of Zorn. See, what happened was I wrote books 1 of Zorn. Book 1. Then I turned it into a game book. That's right. Zorn book 1, 2, and 3 are game books. Now, when I wrote the game book for book 1, I wanted it to continue to book 3. So I had to write book 2, then I wrote book 3. Well, I liked the story of book 2 so much, I actually took it out of the game and turned it into Zorn's Quest book 2. Okay, The Witches of Caravan. Then I decided to write Saving Princess Lara as well to go along with it. Now, book 4 is When Dragons Collide. So I haven't made sure yet if I'm going to continue with the game book. It's very possible, right? It's very possible. Not sure if I'm going to continue with it. So then I decided after book 4 was so freaking exciting. That was a book that really pumped my iron because out of nowhere, don't know why, it had dragons. And I had to make a lot of dragons. See, every illustration in all these books I've done myself. So make sure you know that. Over 300 characters in the Zorn saga. I have created every one of them. I have drew every one of them. I even have 3 coloring books that are on Amazon, www.authorstephencandace.com, or you can go right to Amazon, Stephen Candace, and look it up. There's 3 fantasy coloring books. That's right, with all the characters. And I didn't put all of them in. There's only probably about 150 in all 3 books. But still, they're there. Now, why did I write them? I'm not sure, but I'll tell you one thing. When you get pumping and you get rocking, you don't stop. That's all there is to it. You just don't stop. Why would you stop? I won't. I'm not stopping. I turned around and got pumped up with book 5, The Battle for Krull. Couldn't stop it. Then it went right into book 6, which was a shock to me. Then book 7 just came out of nowhere. Then book 8, 9, and 10 fell right into my lap just because of fairies. I have no reason why. All of a sudden, bam, in my imagination, Zorn went to the Enchanted Forest. And he needs their help. Damn, there you go. I gave you a little insight. Woo! There you go. You got. Now there, see, I gave you a little insight now. So now you know what's coming, okay? But overall, I'm not sure what I want. All I know is I got excited. All I know is there's a book I may extend to it about dragons and call it The Green Dragon. But we shall see, right? Now, let's break down the fact of where did the ideas come from? You know what? Growing up, I grew up in the 60s, man. We didn't have shit. We didn't have real TV. We didn't have all that stuff. Our big shows were a lot of Westerns back in the day. Big Valley, Gunsmoke, Bonanza, you name it, Rawhide. You name that shit that was on in the 70s, 60s, and 70s, man. Everywhere you turned was a damn either a cop show, Cannon, Columbo, like Rockford Files. It was either detective movies or Westerns. That's what you got. Now, then the times have changed and turned to more a variety of sci-fis. The 70s, sci-fi broke loose crazily. That's when 70s and 80s, all the crazy sci-fi movies came out. That's when fantasy came out. Autor was in the late 70s. So when you're talking about characters that have bled through this and created a variety of movies and people stole from, and don't say they didn't, because you could see every single time they did. And I don't blame them. Great stuff. Now, when we're talking about why does Zorn feel that he has to continue with his adventures, I think I did that to him. Zorn lost his love Fiona in book 1, never to regain her again, and he has just missed love. And when someone is missing something, they're always seeking. They're always seeking to find. And everybody knows that. It's just like someone trying to be the best boss. You're always seeking shit. It's all there is to it. So Zorn did this just because he felt the need where he had to travel. That's it. Once again, we come up where we have to cover that shit about regret. Yes, we know every decision we make comes with a counter action. We also know with regret, there is how I feel. There is no such thing as regret, even though the word is used multiple times. There's no such thing as regret because you knew what you knew what you were doing. You knew the consequences, what could happen, but yet you still went through it anyway. So why would you regret something? It's a bad decision. Now, do you think Zorn had many regrets inside his series? I think it's possibly true. There's been a lot of characters that you will find that were Zorn's great friends, and then they have fallen. Did they fall because of him? Did they fall because of the fact that he wasn't there to make sure they were taken care of? So in his mind, Zorn is a knight in shining armor. Like myself. I believe myself to be the lab dog that protects the sheep from the wolves. I believe the fact that you have to be tough in order to just make survival and be the best you can be. To me, you have to make hard decisions. You have to have tough love. So Zorn had to do that. So regrets kind of come with, I don't think a lot of his stuff he regretted because he didn't know. He didn't really know how. He could have been sad and said that was a really shitty decision, which brings us to the consequences he may have felt. I mean, really, let's think about it. If he had bad consequences, now Zorn has had many consequences. Zorn has had many friends fall because of his consequences. Matter of fact, in book 5, one of his friends fall, and it's because of him. And it's like, damn, and you're like, oh, and Zorn's like, oh. But that shit, it's just what it is. The consequences of things. If you're going to take stuff, if you're going to conquer land, Zorn was a king. Let's make sure we understand this. In book 1, Zorn is a king. In book 2, 3, 4, 5, he is a king. K-I-N-G. Make sure you know that. So Zorn has conquered many. Zorn has killed many rulers and has not regretted or thought about the consequences of doing so. Now, you can always give me your feedback and thought, and that is at authorstephencandace@gmail.com. There you go. Now, you can also send me a note if you want to, www.authorstephencandace.com. And you can go to my website and leave me a note there. It doesn't matter to me. Now, we're going to cover 2 recipes of the week this week. And the 2 recipes we're going to cover are grilled fish and roasted grilled carrots. So for our first one, we're going to need a piece or 2 of fish, and of your choice. I like trout. I also like cod, but a lot of people like salmon. And if you're going to use salmon, then do yourself a favor, grab a cedar board. Amazing. Now what you're going to do is you're going to take your pieces of fish. You're going to oil them down. You have 2 sides of a fish, usually a skin side and then a fat side. It just shows you the meat. It's just like chicken. Now you're going to turn around. You're going to oil your grill after you light it and oil down the barbecue grill. Okay. If you're going to use an oven, put it on parchment paper. And that way then you don't have to oil it or anything. If you use a baking pan, spray it down with cooking spray or light oil. Set the fish skin side down on the grill or on the pans or on the foil. And then you're going to sprinkle your desired spices. Usually some salt, pepper, a little bit of lemon pepper if you got it. Works wonders. And then what you can do is that, and then you put it on your barbie. You cook for 2 minutes. Make an X. Turn it. Leave the skin side down, but just turn it. Make an X. Another 2 minutes. Then you're going to flip it for 1 minute. That's it. Flip it 1 minute. And then you're going to cook it. With your salmon, you're going to cook it on your board. Cook it nice and let it heat up and smoke. You'll did it. And then you're going to go from there. If you have to flip it, you got to flip it. If not, don't worry about it. Cook it hard on that cedar board. The cedar board's going to turn it beautifully. What a good flavor. With your roasted carrots now, I leave my carrots whole. Like long. Then I slice them down the middle in half. Then what I do is I oil them up really nice and good, and then I throw some Italian spice on them, and then I put them on the barbecue. 2 minutes, make an X, 2 minutes, flip them over, 2 minutes, and they should be pretty much done. What I do is now I like sauteing, so I put a little oil in the pan, throw the carrots in there, throw a little bit of steak seasoning on them or a little bit of paprika and stuff. And then I saute them in the pan and boy, yum, yum. You take your fish, you take your carrots, you put them together, add a little rice, add a little salad if you want or either one and bam-a-lamma, bing bong. It is delicious. There you go. Now, this week's things that make you go hum. You know, I always wondered why the screen doors. You know, most people have screen doors, correct? Well, why do they make the latches so damn flimsy? I never understood that. They break so easy. Every time I punch it or hit it, they break. $12.99 at the store every time I turn around. No matter what happens, I go to the door, it gets stuck, I punch it and it breaks. They got to make them a little more durable or make them out of a hard plastic. I mean, we have to send recommendations in because maybe that's why too many of us are punching them. But they should that's my recommendation, make them a little more durable. So my things that make them go hum, fix the little screen door latches because I'm sick of replacing them. Now, we're here for good time, not a long time. Remember that. Now, older shit. You know, the older I get, I always try to tell you about the funny things of life of being a senior, you know. I turn around and remember my father laughing watching his shows. My father loved his Westerns now. He loved some Gunsmoke Sunday nights at 7 o'clock. Or he loved Big Valley. Woo! Boy, he loves some Big Valley now. Lee Majors, man, we're talking about Evans Girl. Yeah, we're talking about Barbara Stanwyck. A pillar in movie, Barbara Stanwyck. So when we're talking about that, the Big Valley, wow, that was a really cool movie back in the day, like Bonanza and all that. I used to love watching him. He'd get excited watching Elvis on TV. He was so excited watching Elvis on TV. You know, the funny part is, you know, my dad used to get a big chuckle out of it, and he used to hit his leg and laugh a lot. And he used to get the old he, and he used to laugh because Elvis died on the shitter. Well, I'm telling you what, it was funny, right? Well, what turns out, my dad died the same way. He fell off the shitter and had a heart attack. And I know that's sad and it's terrible, but actually it's kind of funny because I think it's going to be me too. I think it's going to go right with the trio because I'm laughing like hell at my dad about it too, right? So the sense of humor you have to have about things, you got to be light about it. No one likes it, but it is what it is, right? It is funny. You know, the one thing about getting older too, you know, it sucks when your candles cost more than your cake. You know, I mean, I'm telling you, man, you know, my back goes out more than I do. That's pretty sad when you think about it, right? You know it's bad when every time you go to the doctor, you get a new damn prescription. It's not like he sends you back saying you're okay. I mean, man, I don't feel old. I tell you, I don't feel old until I try to get up. Or the worst is, and everybody knows this, the older you get, you lose your car. You go outside and you actually not sure what you remember where your damn car went. I mean, it is true, right? Now, the secret of staying young really is it's just a number. But you got to lie about your age, and you know about it. Now, this week's quote of the week, I'm going to give it to you straight, people, okay? This is an old saying my dad told me back when I was 17. My father always used to tell me, son, if you're going to soar with the eagles, you can't fly with turkeys. You need to think about that, people. If you're going to be successful and soar with the eagles, you can't be flying with a bunch of idiot turkeys that will keep you from getting to where you want to go. Remember something. There's a lot of turkeys out there. Friends can be jealous of you getting promoted, of you making successfulness. Why is it when you do really good, someone's got to be a negative Nancy? Nah. Slap. Bam! That's right. Give it to them right in the goddamn head. Tell them, shut up. Be thankful that you are successful. Soar with the eagles, baby. Put your wings out there and fly. Wah! That's what I'm doing. I've done that my whole damn life. I've never stuck with turkeys. When I see a turkey, I cook it. That's right. It's Thanksgiving time. Remember that. Now, sorry for going off a little bit. Now, let's enjoy our lives. And let's have fun and read a good book. And hopefully it's one of mine. www.authorstephencandace.com. Now, don't forget, you can always send me a question at authorstephencandace@gmail.com. There you go. Now, I will chat with you soon, and let's hope we're going to have a great next adventure, which is going to be our last episode, our Christmas episode. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Jingle bells, that's right. Now, can I get a holler? DCP Talks is out.